Now, let's get into this story. So I don't know if y'all heard about this one. There's a story that's going around that stated that a father basically tried to sue his son for $6,000 because he caught his son basically making out with a boy or kissing a boy or whatever, and he liked it. And so, yeah, he found out that his son was a homosexual, and instead of being a unconditional loving parent, he and his wife agreed to send him away to conversion therapy. So there was this legal show that it's called Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams, and it's in their third season, and this was episode 65. And the show, if y'all never heard of it, it's available on Justice Central TV, which I ain't never heard of that damn channel. And it's on Apple TV Plus. But I think now they took the plus out. I think now it's Apple TV. But yeah, so the episode is out here. I'm going to play y'all a clip of the whole situation. The case is Talbert versus Talbert. A father, basically, who's Gregory Talbert, was suing his 19-year-old son, Michael. I think he's 18, actually, for repayment of $6,000. Dad says that he was shocked to discover Michael kissing a male friend that he had over for a sleepover. So yeah, they wasn't just hanging out. They was out here secretly hunching. You just didn't know about it. Michael was 17 and a senior in high school at the time of the alleged incident. So the father later sent his son a text threatening to kick him out unless he fixed himself. Well, sorry, sir, but there's nothing for him to fix. So, alarmed and fearful of being made homeless, as many queer, if you are aware, a lot of gay teens, that does happen to them, where they do end up homeless because they have parents out here who don't particularly want a gay child, as if they have a choice of the matter. None of us, and I'll even include myself in there, proud homosexual, was not asked to be brought in this world. We didn't ask to be born. We are who we are. Y'all the ones decided to spread your legs. You the one that got a tainted fucking egg and some damn sperm. So if you really want to call us abominations and stuff, blame your balls and blame your pussy because it's fucked up. Now, that's me coming back at y'all bigots. Now, the reality of it is being a same-sex attracted is a part of your biology. It's a part of your makeup. It's a part of who people are. So just like how y'all wake up knowing that you're a woman and you like dick, and you're a man and you like pussy, the same way we feel on the homosexual side. Some of us, we've woken up and we realize what we like and we are who we are. And if you have a problem with that, take it up with your mama, go argue with your pastor, go argue with your mammy, go argue with your pappy. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to still live my life whether you want me to or not. And it's unfortunate this kid has to deal with this. So he did some research apparently into conversion therapy. He found an intense course that lasted 3 months. Although not residential, he would need to attend 5 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And his dad, who is a damn devout church nut, agreed to pay the $6,000. So you literally willing to pay $6,000 to just fix your child like you Iyanla trying to fix somebody's life instead of just loving on and embracing your child for who they are unconditionally. So yeah, after a month of attending the course and being told repeatedly he was cursed and going to hell, Michael couldn't take no more and he dropped out. Friends assured him he does not need fixing. And so now the father had the unlitigated gall to get up on this show and talk about the son owes him 6,000 damn dollars. And I just said, Daddy, you could take that money and you could shove it square up in your asshole. That's what I would have said. And I'm sure you probably would have liked it if somebody was diddling with it. Now, I do have the clip. It's about 4 minutes, so we're going to get into it. We're going to play that clip. I'm going to change the audio on it so that way, just in case I get a little, I don't want to get demonetized. So we're going to play this, change up the speed a little bit, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk. Please hold.
For today, sir.
My son, Michael, broke a promise, and I'm trying to recover the funds that it cost me by his doing so. I have been living in Memphis for about the last 25 years. That's where I met my wife. That's where I started a small business with her brother. Mm-hmm. We're part of a tight community, a small, tightly knit community. We go to church. Our families entertain each other together.
Right.
Shortly after I got married to Michael's mother, my wife, Jennifer. And
Were you still married to your wife, Jennifer? Okay.
Yes, we're still married. And we found out we were going to have a child. We were overjoyed. And when I had a son, it was doubly joyful because then I knew that the family name would carry on. And he's a boy who's always made me proud. He's always been smart and well-behaved and a great boy. You know.
So all this sounds really, really lovely, Mr. Talbot. So why are you suing your lovely, well-behaved, high-achieving son for $6,000?
It all started last May. Michael one day asked if he could have his friend Kevin stay over. It was a Saturday night.
Michael? Michael, how old are you?
I'm 18 now. I was 17 at the time.
Okay, so were you a senior in high school at the time?
Yes, I was a senior in high school.
Okay, thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
His friend Kevin, who was a couple of years older, but I'd met Kevin, certainly seemed like a nice kid, a nice boy. I thought, Michael had some trouble over the years in school, especially when he was younger. He would occasionally get in trouble or get into fights. And I thought maybe this Kevin could be a good influence.
So maybe like a big brother type of mentor could be a positive thing.
Yes.
That was thinking.
I was certainly hoping that, yes,
okay.
Exactly. So I put out the air mattress in Michael's room so that Kevin could stay on the floor. I heard noises, late into the night, figuring, they're boys, they're roughhousing or they're reading comics or whatever they're doing, and I knew they stayed up late. It was a Saturday night, so what difference does it make? I went in there Sunday morning to tell them that breakfast was ready and, Michael had to start getting ready for church, and I found them kissing. They were not kissing, fooling around, roughhousing. They were kissing the way a man and a woman kiss.
Well, let's rephrase that in this courtroom. They were kissing romantically.
Yes, they were definitely kissing romantically. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say or how to respond. So I just pulled it together enough to ask Kevin to leave and to tell Michael that we had to get ready for church. And that's what we did.
Did you address the situation at all?
I did not. I did not know what to say. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. I didn't want to blow up. I didn't want to say something I was going to regret. So I didn't say anything.
Did you tell your wife?
No. So it was very uncomfortable at church because I couldn't really look at Michael and I couldn't speak to him and I didn't want to say anything to Jennifer. So I just sat there and I'm afraid I kind of sat there all day. But by the next morning, I figured out what I wanted to say and I texted him. I have copies of...
Proffer that evidence to my bailiff here, sir, so I can take a look and see exactly what you said to young Michael at that time. Michael, I am so disappointed in your behavior. You cannot kiss another man, especially in my house. If you want to live a homosexual lifestyle, you'll need to move out. This behavior is unacceptable within our family and friend circle in Memphis. I see Michael responds. He says, Dad, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I don't want to move out. I want to be with you, and Mom, I'll do whatever you need me to do. You respond to your only child, your son, and you say, okay, son, let's fix it so it doesn't happen again.
Yes, and I do want to be clear about something. I love Michael, and when I threatened him with expulsion from the house, it was just that. It was a threat.
It was a bluff.
It was. I was trying to shock him. I did want to get a strong reaction because I wanted him to know.
So what was his reaction?
He really took the initiative. He spent the next few days looking into what he could do, and he found a conversion therapy program. I was not all that familiar with this, but he found it, and he asked if he could go. That is the next.
I see this. Dad, I found a conversion therapy program online. It's for 3 months, and I'll need to go every weekday from 8 to 5 p.m. for June, July, and August. So this is 3 months. If I go, can I continue living here? In court today.
All right, so that's pretty much all y'all gonna get for now. If you want to see the full video, you can actually go to my website, chrisavalon.com. It is in the description over on the YouTube channel where you can watch the rest of the full thing because it's an 18-minute video and we ain't got all day to be sitting here watching the whole thing. But we'll go through the situation. So at one point, Ebony K. Williams, for those who don't know, at one point, she was on one season of Real Housewives of New York City because, they were trying to diversify their portfolio over there at the time. And she basically was horrified by what the father had done and all this other stuff and what Michael's gone through. So around the 11-minute mark in the video, because the video, like I told you, 18 minutes, the judge basically left her bench, went to Michael and takes his hands. Looking into his eyes, she says, young man, you are not cursed. You are as loved and as worthy. Michael, as your father, your mother, and everyone else who gets the privilege to reside on this earth, young man. And I don't care what your daddy says. What is this so-called therapist, Matthew Guy said? Wait, what this so-called therapist, Matthew Guy says? I don't care what some stupid conversion therapy says, which is nothing but a bunch of hoopla and a scam and a money grab for young, vulnerable men like yourself. I see you. You are valuable. And Michael, you are perfect. You're perfect. You're beautiful. You look like Linda Evangelista. That you are perfect. You're perfect in the eyes of God. And when Michael's father discovered his son was skipping his conversion therapy sessions, he sent an angry text saying, how could you betray Mom and me like this? I need you to pack your things and move out. Dad told the judge he regretted the harshness of his words and he used in that text and said he loves his son. But Judge Williams was unimpressed and said, I don't give a damn how angry you were, sir, and now I'm about to get real harsh with mine. It's unacceptable, it's manipulative, and sir, it's downright cruel. I believe I'm ready to rule in this matter. I don't, she said, I deal with a lot of cases in my courtroom, sir, and many of them are extremely complicated and nuanced. And I really have to sometimes seek counsel as we tease through the minutia and the theories and the legal complexities. And this one is very simple. This young man deserves a father and mother who loves him completely, not that tolerates him, sir, not that begrudgingly accepts who he is, but that loves him unconditionally and completely. He deserves a home, sir, where he is safe and loved, and it's clear to the court that you know your wife, according to your testimony here today, can provide that. Therefore, it is with great joy and comfort that I dismiss your case in its entirety. The plaintiff's case is dismissed. And you know what? The sad part about all this is because if this story turns out to be true, and I'm gonna say what the gag is, because apparently people on IMDb and Reddit are saying that they use actors on this show. So this might be an acted out scenario and not really a situation that went down. However, when you're discussing something like this is something that is really going on in the world, especially when we're dealing with this current regime that's going in on the LGBTQ plus community rating, going in on trans people. We just had this whole story regarding about conversion therapy being turned down in certain states and not in others. So this story is still alive and well as been going on. We know conversion therapy is some bullshit. It's a con. It's a scam. You cannot go and pray the gay away. You cannot get rid of something that is embedded in who you are as a person. And you wonder why there's so many kids out here that are taking their own lives because they're being told that they're an abomination, they're going to hell, and there's something wrong with them. So, seeing something like this, it definitely opens up the conversation where people know that, okay, so, you were born this way, you are who you are, and there's no need for you to change who you are based off of people running around with some BS indoctrinated religious crap that they're running around with. So, whether it's fictional courtroom drama, the episode raises an issue of conversion therapy at a pertinent time. And this is the conversation that we need to be having, especially with what's going on politically in this country. Now, the discredited practice does not work to alter anyone's sexuality. Numerous studies have found it often does more harm than good. Many states have now banned it. However, late last month, this is the story that I was literally getting to, that I was talking about before I even read the rest of this. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled 8-1 that a Colorado law banning conversion therapy for minors violates the First Amendment free speech rights of therapists. The decision allows counselors to argue that as talk therapy, these practices are protected speech rather than regulatable conduct. The SCOTUS ruling likely threatens similar bans in other states. This is bullshit, though. When it's protected speech. Okay. When it's not protected speech when you're causing harm to people rather than good. So, shout out to, if this story turns out to be true, shout out to this kid. Hopefully he's got some people in his life, in his inner circle, that's going to love on him. And it's sad when you have parents out here who will choose their brainwashed Jim Jones Kool-Aid drinking version of religion over their own child and worrying so much about what their friends think, what all these people in their community thinks, the neighbors, all that stuff, because they have a homosexual child. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to love upon my child regardless of these people, whether they want me to love upon them or not. You can't choose all this other stuff over your kid. This is your only child that you have, and you're willing to just toss him to the side for the church? You're a dummy. And you don't realize that this kid's going to go off, be in a great relationship with people, but he's still, I guess, going to have that trauma from his childhood that he's got to work through. But he's going to go off and live his life. He's going to do things. You're going to miss out on so much of those great things about your child because you're an asshole and you didn't want to come to terms with your child just being who he is and accepting that part of them and respecting them and not just tolerating. Because the last thing I was like, I don't need you to tolerate me, but you will respect me. So if you want to see that episode, it is on YouTube. But if you can't find the episode, you can definitely. I was like, what's it called? You can definitely go to my website, chrisavalon.com. It's over there. If you want to check out the episode. So I say all this to say, What do you guys think of this story regarding this whole conversion episode? Did you see it? It came out a while ago, but I see it's now making the rounds now because that's when I discovered it. Came out a couple of days ago. So it's making the rounds. People are talking about it. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.